Am I the first alternate? Yes. Councilman Roth. Which is great. Councilman Burgess. Yes. Vice Mayor Faircloth. Yes. Mayor Porter.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Tab 16.
Tab 16 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, accepting a grant award from the State of Florida Office of Attorney General in order to provide victim advocacy services to crime victims, approving the grant agreement, authorizing the city manager to execute the grant agreement, establishing a budget in the amount of $94,000 for the expenditure of the grant funds, and providing for an effective date.
Mr. Manager.
Staff recommends Mayor and Council approve the attached resolution authorizing city manager to enter into an agreement with the State of Florida Office of the Attorney General in order to provide support services to victims of crime.
Questions from council? I'll open up the public hearing at this time. Anyone welcome to speak? Yes, sir.
How are you doing? Dr. James Eric McDonough. This looks like a great thing. Anything we can do to help crime victims? Address 32320 Southwest 199th Avenue. Sorry about that. Again, like I said, anything we can do to help crime victims is really great. But I'm just curious, will this program also help people who have been victimized and had crimes committed them by police officers, including Chief Roll, or is it just victims of non-police crimes?
Sandy?
The question is a cheap shot. I don't really think it
understand.
warrants any discussion.
I think it's a legitimate question, sir.
Explain what this is, Sandy, what this grant is about.
But
It's
maybe
not
he
direct-
needs to finish his comments first, because I'm not sure if there's one question or more, and I'd prefer that he get all his questions out now, and we'd be happy to respond.
It's one question. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
That's it. Okay, what is this grant going to do?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This grant is to provide support services to anyone that's a victim of crime in the city of Homestead.
Thank you. Thank you. Close the public hearing at this time.
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Williams. Yes. Councilman Roth. Yes. Councilman Burgess.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Faircloth.
Yes.
Mayor Porter.
Yes.
Whistleblower sues 30 Miami area cops for alleged harassment campaign. Jerry Ionelli, August 29, 2017, 10:20 a.m. James Eric McDonough, a South Miami-Dade activist with a doctorate in organic thermochemistry, has received little but trouble since reporting a Homestead police officer for speeding in 2012. He's been thrown out of public meetings, harassed, and even had to sue Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine Fernandez Rundle for threatening to arrest him for recording a conversation with Homestead Police Chief Al Rolle. McDonough beat Rundle in court earlier this summer, and now he's going after a huge portion of the Homestead, Miami-Dade County, and Monroe County police forces. This past Friday, McDonough sued 30 police officers from those three departments, as well as multiple city and county officials, alleging the cops have been harassing, doxing, and threatening him and his wife for the past 5 years. Related stories. Rundle wrongly threatened whistleblower for recording Homestead police, court rules. Miami cop arrests man recording him, steals his phone. After New Times stories, prosecutors close cop shooting case and change policies. McDonough says all of this happened simply because he tried to stop a Homestead cop from speeding. On October 24, 2012, McDonough saw Homestead police officer Alejandro Mergido driving recklessly around a neighborhood they shared. In fact, Mergido ran him off the road, McDonough says. He stopped the officer and told him he would file a complaint against him. That comment, the suit claims, is what sparked a coordinated harassment campaign that has continued to this day. Representatives from the Homestead and Miami-Dade police departments, as well as the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, did not immediately respond to messages from New Times. McDonough has filed 3 other federal lawsuits in the past 2 years. He settled a 2015 case against MDPD, after he says he was blocked from commenting on the MDPD Facebook page, and won his suit against Rundle. He filed a similar harassment suit against the same group of officers in October 2016, but that case was dismissed in July after he failed to file motions on time. There's no debate that police have repeatedly thrown McDonough out of meetings and filed stalking charges against him. The cops maintain he's an agitator devoted to bothering officers and making them look bad. But McDonough, who works for the federal government, maintains that the stalking charges have always been baseless and that he's simply been retaliated against for trying to reform Homestead cops. The activist's new suit details exactly how he claims the police have coordinated to go after him as a result of his work. McDonough says the problems began when he walked back into his house after threatening to file a complaint against Mergido. The suit claims the cop followed McDonough and threatened to arrest him. Dr. McDonough had traveled approximately 700 feet before Mergido got into his police cruiser and chased Dr. McDonough down, the suit says. Mergido raced his cruiser towards Dr. McDonough, slammed on brakes right behind Dr. McDonough, and demanded that Dr. McDonough stop or he would be arrested. Further, Mergido stated that Dr. McDonough better not mess with cops. A Monroe County officer, Luis Gomez, lived across the street in the same neighborhood. McDonough says Gomez witnessed the entire event, got into his own cruiser, and unlawfully detained McDonough as other officers from Monroe and Miami-Dade County Police arrived and told him to mind his business. McDonough says Homestead cops also arrived even though the incident didn't even happen in their jurisdiction. McDonough said that the incident sparked acute anxiety-induced tachycardia, high blood pressure, and a severe anxiety attack, and that he's suing the officers involved for false imprisonment, civil rights violations, and multiple other charges. But the 96-page lawsuit doesn't end there. McDonough alleges that 8 days after the incident, he sought help for his panic attacks at an urgent care clinic. He claims the doctor told him he was calling an ambulance but instead called the cops, told the officers McDonough was psychotic and schizophrenic, and needed to be committed to a mental institution against his will under the state's Baker Act. The suit claims the physician later admitted that the medical report he prepared was false in many ways. Both medical and police reports state that Dr. McDonough was cooperative and not a threat of harm to self or others. Instead of helping him, though, McDonough says, the urgent care doctor instead called Homestead police, who continued to harass him over the previous speeding incident. The trouble continued in 2013, McDonough says, when he was carried out of a Miami-Dade County Police Citizens Advisory Committee, CAC, meeting for bringing up the speeding incident again. On February 12 of that year, McDonough says, he stood up and said he wanted to file an internal affairs complaint against the MDPD officers who came to his house and threatened to arrest him in 2012. Instead, McDonough says, 2 cops removed him from the public meeting, detained him for 20 to 30 minutes, and tried to scare him to prevent him from filing the complaint. If that sounds improbable, in 2016, WSVN reported that McDonough had been carried out of other public meetings in Homestead multiple times for demanding the department institute a body camera program. 3 days later, McDonough says, Mergido, the cop he says he caught speeding, filed a false police report accusing him of felony stalking and corruption. McDonough says the charges were totally baseless and claims Mergido actually stalked him by illegally searching his private information in the police license plate data bank, the driver and vehicle information database, David. In April 2013, Mergido accused McDonough of trespassing on his property, but McDonough says that he recorded the entire incident on his phone and that the recording proves nothing illegal happened. On April 15 of that year, McDonough was arrested on felony charges of aggravated stalking and corruption through threats. He says he was arrested without a warrant, thrown into the back of a car without a seat belt, and subjected to what police call a rough ride or nickel ride, in which cops slam on the brakes and jerk the cruiser around in order to injure a detainee. Dr. McDonough was then transported to a Miami-Dade jail facility where he was embarrassed and humiliated further, the suit says. Dr. McDonough was forced to strip naked, bend over, and manually spread his butt cheeks and cough while a guard was observing. This was in a room with an open door, while people were walking past and observed him in this manner. The charges were later dropped. In February 2014, McDonough then met with Chief Rolle of the Homestead Police. McDonough says Rolle repeatedly refused to let him file a complaint against the cop for what he now claimed were years of harassment. McDonough says the Homestead, Miami-Dade, and Monroe County Police Departments repeatedly refused to let him file complaints against multiple officers, which would be a violation of departmental policies. Instead, McDonough says, he was forced to put his evidence and video recordings online and that, once he did so, Rolle tried to arrest McDonough for felony wiretapping. McDonough then said Rolle contacted the Miami-Dade County State Attorney's Office, which threatened to arrest McDonough if he ever recorded Rolle again without the chief's consent. McDonough sued Rundle and won earlier this summer after a federal appellate court ruled she had illegally threatened to jail McDonough. He also says Rolle destroyed public records vital to his complaint. This isn't the first time the chief has been accused of doing so. If you like this story, consider signing up for our email newsletters. Show me how. In the meantime, McDonough says, officers from all three departments published false statements about his mental health on the police forum LEOAFFAIRS.com. Those false statements include claims that 1. Dr. McDonough is aggressive or combative, 2. Dr. McDonough is psychotic, 3. Dr. McDonough is a schizophrenic who is delusional, 4. Dr. McDonough considers himself a sovereign citizen, 5. Dr. McDonough is threatening and aggressive, 6. Dr. McDonough and his wife are crazy, 7. Dr. McDonough has a history of clinically diagnosed mental health problems, 8. Dr. McDonough is a Baker Act, who stalks police, 9. Dr. McDonough committed/commits theft of government property/resources, 10. Dr. McDonough was committed to a mental institution because V. McDonough sleeps with cops, and 11. That Dr. McDonough's children are not his because V. McDonough sleeps with cops. In addition to a litany of other claims, he's also suing the cops for defamation. All, McDonough says, because he tried to stop an officer from speeding 5 years ago. Jerry Ionelli is Miami New Times daily news reporter. He graduated with honors from Temple University. He then earned his master's degree in journalism from Columbia University. He moved to South Florida in 2015. Contact, Jerry Ionelli. Follow, Twitter at Jerry Ionelli.
I wanted to ask you, sir. Now, if you can verify or document that he lied for employment, do you guys fire people for doing that? I mean, just that alone. Forget everything else. I mean, like I said,
that's what happened. That's what happened to the one that you said that.
Yeah, I heard that happened to a guy like a week or two ago.
It happened to what's his name? Villarreal. That's when it.
Villarreal. Okay.
Illegal. That happened. But it happened to him.
Okay.
And like I said, you know, we only did that because.
Here's something else I think you should find real interesting. This is his polygraph examination he took to get a job here at Homestead, and you see where I put the little star. He says that he denied ever using illegal drugs in his life. But you flip over to the next page is his application for employment, which is several months later, and he said he used to smoke pot.
But I was just saying that if you would have called me, or either called him, even at the first 2 times that went down with Magruder, because this guy nasty here, got to the point where you end up getting yourself arrested. And then
Because he lied.
yeah, but I know, but I'm saying, you know, it just too much stuff happened, and right now it's to the point right now where if you want to pursue this and file suits and everything, you know, this city's gonna have some problems based on what you telling me and what you're showing me.
Oh yeah.
Because you did some homework.
I went home and I wrote down everything I could remember. And then I started doing some research. Like, I had this list that night.
Let me see it. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got a list.
That's just the ones I could find. And like I said, my Google foo ain't that great, but it was good enough to find like 10 or 11 of them.
This one?
I just generated that. I found all that online. Homestead, police, corruption, dirty cops, corrupt cops, fired cops.
Wow. This is amazing.
Now, I had that in about 30, 45 minutes. I could probably find some more if I went and tried some.
Let me copy this. It's interesting. It's interesting because everybody on there, I dealt with everybody on this list. It's no lie.
Yeah.
Oh. Let me have that. I want to keep that because this is interesting. Because I usually don't keep a tab of who I have to spank, but this is interesting. And I was going through I was just going through this.
Now, there was a whole lot more. These are just ones that were like in the last 5 years when I put that together.
That's why.
Like I said, I won't try and find stuff from 30 years ago.
No. I was just curious because.
You got them all right. I want to give you this. After I got home that day, I wrote a transcript of the conversation. That's the exact conversation me and Officer Merguido had.
So, you remember all this? Or you just?
I have an uncanny ability to memorize things.
Oh, because I'm saying this is so detailed, you know. I'm like, wow.
I wanted to give you some stuff, and if you want, we can meet again. I have a whole lot more information. I just want to try to get you as much so you could kind of start digesting it. I didn't want to come in and bring you office boxes full of stuff to digest. And here is a signed certified copy I got from Detective Aquino. I just wrote this for your benefit. I originally called on 124. Merguido filed the criminal complaint on 215. He filed the restraining order on 228, and the 228 is the restraining order where he says that I contacted IA. And Detective Aquino admits we never talked till 319. How do you know that I contacted IA 2 months before IA ever contacted me? That means he's either lying or he's conspiring with IA. They both can't be true. One of it has to be, unless there's something I'm missing. And when Detective Aquino called me on 319, he tried to tell me he was returning my phone call from several days earlier when it was over 2 months. And he had no explanation for why the officer knew that I had contacted IA or why they advised him to file a protection order against me.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. It is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So, yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt-free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself, 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So, if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now, where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran on, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran on no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.